Good morning, folks. Today I want to talk about a topic which is personally very important to me, and I decided to do this video in English because I think it's very important, and it's a kind of a warning because I've occupied myself for about 3 years with the Myers-Briggs type indicator, short form MBTI. This test was established by a mother and a daughter in the USA, as I learned, and it's not quite finished. So the Myers-Briggs type indicator you have is based on the function theory by Carl Gustav Jung. Then it was established by Myers and Briggs, or Myers and Briggs Myers. I don't exactly know. And then it was put into the scale by David Kersey. I hope this is the right pronunciation. And there you have 16 types. 16 I don't say personality types anymore, because this should be the message of this video. The Myers-Briggs does nothing say about your personality, nothing at all. So why is this? It is because the function theory of Carl Gustav Jung, it only tells about your judging and perceiving functions. This is how you judge and perceive the world. No, yes, how you record the impressions and how you handle it. So when it comes to the first, my type is INFP, by the way. I can explain it maybe on the base, based on this type. So it is introverted, N is intuitive, and F is that I'm more a feeler, and P is I'm more a perceiver than a judger. So they tried to combine it with the function of C.G. Jung. Basically, if there would be the type INFJ, this is not the same type I am, only in a judging version. The P and the J are basically the most important indicator of your type. So if I am a perceiver, my first function is a perceiving function, which means my first function is introverted feeling. And the INFJ has in the first place a judging function, which would be the introverted intuition. So I know it sounds pretty complicated, but basically it's pretty easy, and this is the problem. Now I already say it's a problem that this test is spread so widely over the internet, and it's not the real Myers-Briggs test which is spread over the internet, because the real test, it is charged, and it costs about €50 in my place. I don't exactly know. So if you take this certified Myers-Briggs type indicator test, the only thing is that this test is more accurate, but the tests on the internet, the free tests, are leaked. There are some questions from the original test. So the only difference between the free tests and the certified test is that the certified test is more accurate. That does not matter at all, because the Myers-Briggs type indicator itself, it is not it has no scientific value. It is quasi a pseudoscience, and the problem is, because it is so easy to understand, especially with the letters. If you say INFP, you can say about the person is introverted, the person is more theoretically than practical. You can say the person is more a feeler than a thinker, and the only problem beginners with the Myers-Briggs, have, the only problem is that they can't differ, judge, and perceive, because you have to occupy with the functions from C.G. Jung, Carl Gustav Jung, to actually know what are judging functions and what are perceiving functions. The problem begins because even the theory, the function theory of C.G. Jung, was criticized, and it has, as far as I know, it has no evidences scientifically, as far as I know. I have to say, I'm not a psychologist. I only talk about my experiences. Most of the time I talk about my anxiety and my hypersensibility. But if you work on yourself and on your personality, sooner or later it comes to the Myers-Briggs, because it's so popular. This test is very popular. Popular. Sorry about my pronunciation. And what is the main problem to me personally is because when it comes to the website 16personalities.com, they take the 16 types and they claim they have certain personality traits. So they take the types and they make personalities out of them. You understand what I mean? If you do so, types become stereotypes. So you are judging, and I don't mean when I say judging now, I'm talking about prejudice, and not about the function theory of Carl Gustav Jung. There, the judging function has a different meaning. But when you say prejudging, when I say judging, I mean prejudging and stereotypes. And this is, in my opinion, this is the problem with the 16 personalities, because As an INFP, I don't have a certain INFP personality, because an INFP personality simply does not exist. Me as an INFP, I am a perceiver, which means I record something of my surroundings and my experience, and I don't know how to tell this properly in English. My brain works with these impressions, and this is simply how I perceive the world and impressions, but and how my brain handles this and works with it. But the personality is much more than just perceiving and working. It is you. I don't know how to. I think my English is I think I'm on the border of my words now. How can I tell this? The personality is who you are, and who you are is not only based on your senses or on your brain or on your mind, but it is based about your experience and your education and your parents and your childhood and stuff. And maybe this is the and on the genetics, of course. And I think this is the reason why Carl Gustav Jung was criticized so much. And in modern psychology, it is are more the theories of Sigmund Freud and other psychoanalytics, analyticians. I don't exactly know. But the message I want to tell with this video is that it is nearly dangerous to identify with your Myers-Briggs type, and it is more dangerous to identify other people. You can, if you for example, if you say this person is extroverted, this is a sort of stereotype, because most people are ambiverted, ambivert. This means they are somewhere in between, introverted and extroverted. Most people are somewhere in between theoretical and practical. Most people are in between thinker or feeler. I know many people who are basically robots. They only can think. They have no feelings. They seem to have no emotions. But psychos also seem to have no emotions. But a sane person uses both thinking and feeling. And maybe as a last point, I don't know how long this video will be. we basically use all the functions who Carl Gustav Jung, he talked about eight main functions, which are introverted intuition and extroverted intuition, then the introverted and extroverted feeling, introverted or extroverted sensation, and what is the last one again? The thinking, introverted and extroverted thinking. So the introverted feeler feels more for himself. The extroverted feeler feels more for other people. Then the sensoric is about the senses, of course, and the introverted sensor is more the who relies on what he knows and traditional. Then the extroverted sensor is more the sensation seeker, who is a little is looking for danger and something like that. People who do extreme sports or something like this. The extroverted thinker is even more traditional than the introverted sensor, the extroverted thinker. He or she relies on rules and I don't know how to say it in English. The etiquette. If you certain things who are established in society, they want to do everything right. They want to do everything by the book and by the law. They are very lawful, like the alignment system in Dungeons and Dragons, if you will. They are the lawful good or lawful neutral characters. And you know the problem is if you occupy yourself with these functions, the danger is that you are really prejudicing. So intuition is the most complicated thing to talk about, because it's the introverted intuition and the extroverted intuition, they are mixed up in many, they are always mixed up because nobody really can explain intuition, and so many people think that the introverted intuition is basically something like a supernatural trait, and yeah, the sixth sense or something like this. And when I take I've already taken a test based on the functions by Carl Gustav, I always say CG, C.G. Jung, Carl Gustav Jung. There are tests which are based about the functions of Carl Gustav Jung. And whenever I take these function tests, it says INFP, but my introverted intuition is very high. This is because I'm a very spiritual person. I've occupied myself with spirituality, And I'm not a religious person, but I believe in spirits and ghosts and stuff. And I've occupied myself with spirituality and yes, Wicca, but this would be a too big topic to tell about it here. Maybe I'll make another video about it. I've lost the thread. Yes, basically I've said it, and so long story short, I can only repeat that something like the Myers-Briggs type indicator, it makes you build stereotypes and prejudice. So for example, when I really believed in this system, because there are some phases. You get inducted to it, then you are fascinated by it, and you think this is hauntingly real, and you have found the key to the personality of people. You think this in the first place when you get in touch with the Myers-Briggs. And I think I'm not the only person who experienced this, because I've read some blog entries mostly in German about people who were really they really liked the MBTI in the first place, and then it got deeper, and then they learned about the functions of Jung, and then they figured out what the bullshit the whole thing is, and in the end they are not warning about the Myers-Briggs, but they mostly rely on the fact that Myers-Briggs is not scientific. But to me personally, it means the Myers-Briggs is something that makes you stereotype and prejudice, and this is something that can lead stereotypes and prejudice can be very dangerous, because it begins quite harmless. For example, I was in the black metal scene for a few years, and you feel like an elitist because you can listen to the music and you are so true and so on. But there are stereotypes that can lead to real ugly actions. There are people who kill because of stereotypes. I'm not saying that everybody who is judging people is becoming a killer or something. But it can lead to totalitarian systems and intolerance, and this is something that can end in really bad way. So, in my opinion, so the prejudice are very dangerous, and yeah, basically I've said what I wanted to say. I hope you could follow because I'm not a native speaker. Maybe I make another video in German for my German mates, because lately the Myers-Briggs, it also came to my country, and there was a video about the Myers-Briggs who was completely bullshit by absolute beginners who did not really occupy themselves with it. And yeah, if you take this test for fun, there is no problem. Or if you say, if you type your friends or mates just for fun, this is no problem. But when it comes to judging and prejudice, this is, in my opinion, this is the danger. To say this is not a type, but to say this is a personality, because your personality is so much more than your type. And yeah, that's it.